In our previous videos, you saw us showing Ghana love. Ghana's very first president stood in 1957 in the colonial rule. Kwame Nkrumah believed that and for every African everywhere. And that's why we need no permission and no one should fight for their existing. It was rebellious, it was necessary, and it was a small act of defiance in honor of everyone. We came here to show Ghana love. And in return, it was watching who was watching us. But we didn't come here to stay quiet. We found and we knew people could see. But some things are...
In the video, I'm say South African gay couples, Liu and Ru, Abedina Ghana Independence Square. They came to promote gay. Ghana, they came to launch it. Say Ghana, so ayo maya. Now, no wait me at name aware. We are Bema, we our uncle Bema, we do young Trumu, Uncle Bebia. Emma, that issue popped up. Now, the people were calling for Sam George. Sam George was the most wanted person yesterday in Ghana here. Now finally, Sam George Abacasa. What should press statement 10. Now in case in fact, Akufo Addo year because Sam George Afayano. Now Ghana for is almost a demanded answer from Olono Sam George no. Sam George Abu Bonadra Trumu Tanda. Sam George Abu Bonadra Trumu Tanda. There be Americans. Sam George minister. Sabi if you answer only be it is so assembly no Bekasa. Eya Montreal Montreal Sam George. And yes, Okasebia or Tubom. In this video, I'm going to Sam George Eka. Now that you're doing my comment section. How you Penyah block media? Let's run say video. Open like video. Now that what subscribe button. Subscribe to the notification and confirmation updates. Now better watch your mama. Comment section. Let's pass one. No she video for us. Any be accurate. Unfortunately for us, any social media and so pictures be any post be either say go viral. Posting when OMY is a two South African gay couples. We are from Liu any Ru. Omo every South Africa and Omba Ghana. To me, like I said, they came to launch LGBTQ plus. Omba to Omba launch it Trumu Trumu Ewa Ghana because Omo post Omo Kia 3 post. Omo first post Omo said, never in our lives did we think we would find ourselves in Ghana doing something so simple and yet so defiant. A few months ago, we came across an article about the Ghanaian government attempt to pass an anti-LGBTQ plus bill. Much na omo na nwene ese ebebeba ometimi abepim o Ghana ha no se emema me no omo awale every say abosume dodo bia atwam eno mu no se Ghana for no ye de bill bia ba ye da to Ghana parliament say president ensign as the president no ensign it is going against LGBTQ plus na e course we other for Ghana mu say ensign right say e say ye atwam. If passed, the bill would mean up to 3 years in prison for being queer and 5 for supporting someone who is. As I'm telling you, Sabo, you're saying, you choose to do Truma, well, with them 3 years. And if you choose to, you'll be our supporting obedience to 5 years. That's it. Coming out was already hard. Some of our own family members struggled to accept us. But imagine waking up and realizing that just being who you are will land you in prison. Not because you've harmed anyone, but because of who you love. That will be the reality of Ghanaians. We just, now, and when you're more way to me, Abba. They omuye make so make me cry awale as mema minu no na because ebusan for cry eso tia o mo na ba no Ghana for dey dia na Ghana for dey na just why you say unya boni bia na so okodem all because nipa wo do na person no retrenti no o be say okodem we any shebra say Ghana na be so ama omu a mema minu be say omu wale e wo Ghana wo mdrum tum e wo Ghana se ye hye sa emra na. That's why we are here to meet hate with love and stand in solidarity with queer Ghanaians through the Show Ghana Love campaign. We are confronting the erasure and criminalization of queer people by love bombing Ghana's iconic landmarks of freedom, showing that until queer people are free, no one truly is. And I'm making another point. I just say every bit of awareness. This bill will threaten the safety and freedom of Ghana's queer community. We know not everyone can laugh out loud like this. We are doing this for those who can't, for those who had to leave, and for those who still hiding. We are not activists. We are just in love, and sometimes that's enough to start a revolution. And on some this particular pictures at all. And on making last post. It's the last post. And we say, and Nkrumah stood here and declared a nation free. Today we stood here and declared ourselves free too. They don't just say Nkrumah Jina that independence square home. Any place Ghana is free forever today. If in Ghana are free. Yes, we are Jina Hanum declare freedom for queer Ghanaians, for LGBTQ activists. Omo Ghana just say emema minu besu muare Emma no beso omware. We are declare freedom to them. Free to be loud, queer, African, bold, and drenched in Renaissance energy. Let love heal us all, because the revolution didn't end in 1957. It lives in every beautiful act of defiance and every unapologetic expression of self. We didn't come to ask for space, we came to claim it. It's almost post actually said they didn't come to Ghana here for anything, but they came to campaign against the government on their bid to pass a bill against LGBTQ plus activity in Ghana here. Ombe campaigning, ombe Trumu support for ombe Trumu Trumu Ghana. They came to support them. Say the omusro, omufri say akon munkwa. They been come munkwa. If you are seeing that how much, if you are see obi odini Trumu biano, time much. Emma post we no. Eyeke odi Kofi Ochedako, presidential staffer for diaspora affairs. Odinka emeki. Odinka post on Facebook. I'm not trying to say who are they? Do your thing, but not beneath our independence monument. I am indifferent about them, but not in our faces and definitely not beneath our independent monument. Also, we bet na your money, but enya Ghana baby, ye t-shirt, baby, you full mashe. Na ye found if ye make a found a speech. Na comedy na ye. Enya hona beja with this monkwasi asem. Because men, I am not against people, but enya mama de kwasiason modern. But later, KOD deleted this post, and I was like. And then I was with you, dating post today. Now on the internet now, many people are quite assuming by that kind of for a demand is omna want to make because I didn't confirm by a guy a year was yet. Omna want to make they didn't just come to take photo shoot. They came to do videos. Hey, Independence Square, only a video. Omu Kon Museum, a video. Afe Omu Kon Market, any botanical garden, many places, videos over there. They came to Ghana to promote LGBTQ plus. Internal social normative for gram target some dot make video be blast no as omra bontin emetremu emeka because adwina ekos no enguase eguga na numase some dot ewo hene jata ewo hene enkofo beja independence square age me kwachi omewe na ye be some dot babusia finally some dot about want no so obekasa there be on hide onwane obekasa na obi make post ewo Twitter eno na odi eyi Ghana for na ensem de waka bi pa yangen kai bi njitrimu some dot said I have just returned to Accra from home in the Volta region where I attended the climax of our successful Girls in ICT program. Oh, it's a free Volta region ever who I call for program be Girls in ICT program launch. Because the film for ever. I have seen numerous stats and posts about the abhorrent disrespect of our culture and values by two useless individuals. Oh, now maybe I say, "My target, but I'm putting me I say, yeah, Sabi, and because your form you do be, no, I will be a mutia." Omode ye nimonyam awehwi form your values and your culture your mamre your values and your culture omode awehwi form behu the disrespect of our national symbols is despicable to say the least. However, I am shocked to see apologists of the NPP calling on me and demanding action. Oh, mehu na no ehye me nwanwa pa say me say NPP for ni bi no calling on me some just they are demanding answers from me. What a shameless lot. And we are here we are today without a strict legislation on these ills because former president Nana Akufo Addo failed and blatantly refused to sign the family values bill into law after Parliament of Ghana and the court had declared the bill. Just you will be able to baby moving. You also independence square museum and moving you will have every set. Akufo Addo by 2024. Yeah, the family values bill na control my not anti-LGBTQ plus bill nation bill. One sign, you know, and so na energy do where you do, and no, energy do hanimo. You defended the immoral stance of President Akufo Addo then and today you want to pontificate. How dare you? Or just say, Akufo Addo aban ni mo no. Na o made demonstration on the anti-LGBTQ plus bill. Na say Akufo Addo aban and sign on. Some of you were against them. You repeat them. And now, mo attack some George Konano. Mo patre say, I omra want to make onya de oyo masa mo for masa mo nko. How dare you? How dare you people demand answer from me, Sound George? How dare you? I have, along with my colleagues in Parliament, resubmitted the Family Values Bill. It has gotten Mr. Speaker's approval and should be laid for first reading any moment soon. The values, morals, and innocence of our children must be protected. I would demand that President John Dramani Mahama sign the bill when we get it passed again. My position has not changed, but I despite hypocrites. Oh no, they stand on anti-LGBTQ plus bill. And say sign, but no, I do hypocrite. Law enforcement must identify the two miscreants in the viral photos and apply the full rigors of existing laws on them for God and country. So when any post here, Sam George Abemiki. Now Sam George making post you know. And then General Buhari aeroplane not say, sir, you are shameless, I must say. You are in government for 6 months. Why haven't you signed that bill yet? How many hours does it take one to sign a bill? Hypocrite. And Sam George reply, what I say? Sam George reply not say, you are an unintelligent. Else you know there's no bill to sign. As the bill has been deemed dead with the previous parliament, but I'm not surprised. 70 Ghana cedis intellect on display. 70 Ghana cedis say, Sam George, 70 Ghana cedis say, Yetua Buhari can save this is over here, over can same way. And that's about let's continue. You have the nerve to demand a bill. You who oppose us and accuse us as nation wreckers, don't even dare it on this matter. Just say, Sam George comment section. Sam George are clashing with people at the comment section. But Sam George, in fact, Asamba, because you are gradually appearing to be a minister without home sense, a minister who needs finance. Asam ke empenifokrasi enyiran kan dem enjeten kan and we go say we yaba. Sam George o go say previous government no ansign anti-LGBTQ plus bill. And the previous government ansign just say mama ba no obi anyi mo krom ha no. E just obi anyi mi. Yi le bi wanyi fro ba mbasi mo yefi wo. Motwem. It is ono no anyi influence mama ba na munya nyi influence ma does it mean say obi abeso be gina Ghana ya yi abejimi and sometimes as ma wo kan we no nyanse ni. You are not making any sense. You are just talking rubbish, talking foolishness as usual. This is total nonsense. Bad useless post from you as Minister for Information and Communication because you're nonsense. Jimmy Siena, you're crazy as with data bundle prices. Over to the camp was yasem. Actually, Oma no Omo criticize you fear criticism. You can't stand criticism. The people they are so wise enough said, oh, first person make you much say for some months ago, they saw an article where the Ghanaian government wanted to pass a bill against LGBTQ+. One month at the parliament. And they are so sensible, said. So because Ghana had more and the NPP time, it makes no sense. But more than Muslim person pass a bill. They just came to test you people. They came to test you. More than more person sign LGBTQ+ bill. It's more person yen sign it. And more office no. We almost went to my Ghana. Akufo Addo blame Akufo as a good answer. Akufo time. We never saw something like this. We never saw this foolishness.
In our previous videos, you saw us showing Ghana love, and today we're taking you to two of the most important and most emotional locations on this trip. The first one is Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. This is where Ghana's very first president stood in 1957 and declared the country's independence, making it the first sub-Saharan African country to break free from colonial rule. Kwame Nkrumah believed that true freedom wasn't just political, it needed to be economic, cultural, and for every African everywhere. And that's why we are here, to remind the world that queer freedom is African freedom too. There's power in standing here, on the same ground where liberation was declared, and today we stand for the freedom of queer people across the continent, because love needs no permission and no one should fight for the right to exist. Next up, as a fort, and honestly, this one was heavy. The fort was once a holding site for enslaved Africans. People were kept here in cramped dark dungeons before being shipped across the Atlantic, and after the slave trade ended, it became a prison under the British rule. Today it stands as a reminder of the people who were oppressed and erased for who they were, and in many ways, the fight still exists, just in a different form. So for us, showing up here as an openly queer couple, claiming space where people were once punished for existing, everything. It was rebellious, it was necessary, and it was a small act of defiance in honor of everyone who came before us. This trip hasn't been easy. There were moments we felt unsafe, moments we felt unwanted, but we also felt seen and proud and grateful. Being queer in Africa comes with a different kind of weight, but it also comes with so much power. And on this trip, we used that power to love bomb every place we stepped in, to claim joy where it wasn't expected, and to leave traces of queer love where it's so often erased. We came here to show Ghana love, and in return, it taught us about resilience, about history, and about the quiet rebellion that comes with simply existing as yourself. This might be the end of the trip, but it's not the end of the work. No pride for some of us without liberation for all of us. Hashtag so Ghana love. In our previous post, you saw that we landed in Ghana to show Ghana love, to stand with the queer community and to love bomb this country with every ounce of who we are. Today's mission is to love bomb Black Star Square. This place is absolutely stunning, a landmark filled with history and meaning. Star Square was built when Ghana gained independence from British rule in 1957. It stands as a powerful symbol of hope, freedom and African strength. It's exactly why we had to be here, because love and freedom aren't privileges, they are rights, and every LGBTQIA+ person deserves both. But to be honest, this was the hardest shoot yet. The tension in the air was so real, security everywhere, watching us closely. We were warned not to be too touchy, people staring at us, the energy was heavy. And what stood out the most was looking up and seeing the words freedom and justice engraved on the building, while knowing not everyone in this country gets to experience that. In the background of our photos, a beautiful straight couple was freely taking their wedding pictures, openly celebrating their love, and it hit us. Something so simple, yet something so impossible for so many queer people here. We didn't come here to play it safe. The tension was real, but so was our purpose, to meet hate with love, and to take up space, and to remind Ghana's queer community that they are seen, they are loved, and they are never alone. Stay tuned to our socials to see what happens next as we continue to show Ghana queer love. Today we took our mission to Aburi Botanical Gardens, a stunning peaceful space with giant trees and open lawns. But even in a place like this, being a queer couple comes with risk. There were families around, people everywhere. In every move we made, we were watching who was watching us. But we didn't come here to stay quiet. We found this open patch of grass called the Love Lawn. And in a country where queer people aren't safe to hold hands, we decided to lay down together in the open. Our hearts were racing, and we knew people could see. But some things are bigger than fear. We were then asked by these local ladies to take a photo. After all the tension, that moment hit different. It reminded us why we are here. We even ended up behind the braai stand, flipping meat with a stranger, and for a moment it just felt human. Next, the market. Chaotic, loud, faces everywhere. Foreigners stands out. Queer foreigners, even worse. We felt it in every glance, and for the first time on this mission, we felt like love could get us hurt. But we didn't stop. We bought fruit, laughed louder than we probably should have, because even here, queer love exists. We're not heroes, we're not activists. We're just two people risking everything to remind Ghana's queer community that they met.
Obi anyimi, obi ameji wa Ghana ha. Trumu Trumu ni bi ameji wo krom ha no mo. We saw it. Obi amejimi age and I will watch. Next enkwasi adu we cause how dare you go Twitter to talk this nonsense? Man say enkwasi afu. Sanyo yimi ye. Anytime you talk, o ka say bia wo ti Mahama vote so. Wo ti ND's for vote in 2028. O ti so. Wo beti so. Sando ni fie nyansa. Obeka sa mesra mo. Mumpe nyansa ni ma no guide Sando ko ni fie nyansa. Asem ba obeka jagum obese no obehenya asem no. Penyini yesi yan tran kan mu teten kan asem ba yuzu nyansa kakra asem yaba omani ma jejejejeje as minister be Kenya asem na akoma mra foma obeka nkwase asem ebe shift blame wadwe nya adwuma wa be transfer kan kwase asem ahada be shiki obe shift blame on people o blame why na o blame no why na office why na wa bem de o blame no ne time ye hu nkwase ade we bia na anko so enti o blame no so wa ye dey one sign to no aye dey one sentiment makwan say obi mra ana one sign no o shemra say obi betima ba bedini to Ghana did Akufo Addo even make a law say obi betima bedini to what make law bia and what is your view, what is your point on this? What are you saying? Somebody, what are you actually saying? But the bias me come say somebody is a minister oni nyansa efie nyansa woni bi mo mpamo no ontimi hit somebody ain't me criticism mo mpamo no. Where is my sound? I can move from. What is your view on that? Tell your mama, comment section. Are you Penyah media?